Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatha Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saghana Raganatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishakam Vitam Sya Om Ajnana Timaranda Shagyana Jana Shalakya Shakshuram Nidhamyana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bhistam Supurakam Guraganara Sesha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govindabhidam Ujvalam Varatanam Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwagurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Premnoi Bija Pranam Devam Divyatanam Suchanda Baranam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sareka Varanam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Bandetam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Yashishwara Shridaram Vanchakopatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahamaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is Antya-lila, chapter 4, Sanatan Goswami visits the Lord. Text number 59. Nasadayati mam yogo nas shankyam dharma udava na swadhyayastapastyago yata bhaktir mamorjita. A Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna said, "My dear Uddhava, neither through Ashtanga Yoga, the mystic yoga system for controlling the senses, nor through impersonal monism, or an analytical study of the absolute truth, nor through study of the Vedas, nor through austerities, charity, or acceptance of sannyas, can one satisfy me as much as by developing unalloyed devotional service unto me. Deho tyagani tamul dharma pataka karan sadakana tate krishnara charan." Measures like suicide are causes for sin. A devotee never achieves shelter at Krishna's lotus feet by such actions. Premi bhakta Biyoge chahe deho chadite. Prima bhakta biyoge chahe deho chadite. Preme Krishna milis seha na pare marite. Because of feelings of separation from Krishna, an exalted devotee sometimes wants to give up his life. By such ecstatic love, however, one attains the audience of Krishna, and at that time one cannot give up his body. Gadanu rager biyogana jaya sahan tate anurage manche apanamaran. One who is deeply in love with Krishna cannot tolerate separation from the Lord. Therefore, such a devotee always desires his own death. Yashyangri pankaja raja snapanam mahanto vachanti umapatir ivatmatamo pahatyai jarhi ambujakshana tlabeya bhavat prasadam jayam asun brata krishan jata janma bishat. O lotus-eyed one, great personalities like Lord Shiva desire to bathe in the dust of your lotus feet to drive away ignorance. If I do not get the mercy of your lordship, I shall observe vows to reduce the duration of my life, and thus I shall give up bodies for hundreds of births if it is possible to get your mercy in that way. Sinchanga nastvad adaramrita Purakena Hasavaloka Kala Gita Ja Rich Chayagnim No Ched Vayam Viraha Jagni Upayukto Deha Janena Yama Parayo Paravim Sakete. O dear Krishna, by your smiling glances and melodious talk, you have awakened a fire of lusty desire in our hearts. Now you should extinguish that fire with a stream of nectar from your lips by kissing us. Kindly do this, otherwise, dear friend, the fire within our hearts will burn our bodies to ashes because of separation from you. Thus, by meditation, we shall claim shelter at your lotus feet. Kuburi Chadiyakara Shravana Kirtan Achirat Pabitabi Krishnara Charan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatan Goswami, give up all your nonsensical desires, for they are unfavorable for getting shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. Engage yourself in chanting and hearing, then you will soon achieve the shelter of Krishna without a doubt. Nijajati nahi Krishna bhajane ajogya Satkula vipra nahi bhajane rajogya. A person born in a low family is not unfit for discharging devotional service to Lord Krishna, nor is one fit for devotional service simply because he is born in an aristocratic family of Brahmins. Jebaje sebora abhakta hinachar Krishna bhajane nahi jati kuladi bichar. Anyone who takes to devotional service is exalted, whereas a non-devotee is always condemned and abominable. Therefore, in the discharge of devotional service to the Lord, there is no consideration of the status of one's family. Dinare adika daya kore bhagavan kulina pandita danir bora abhiman. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is always favorable to the humble and meek, but aristocrats, learned scholars, and the wealthy are always proud of their positions. Viprad dvishad guna yutad aravindanaba padaravinda vimukad swapachan varishtam manyetad arpitam manovachane hitarta pranam gunati sakulam natu burimana. One may be born in a Brahmin family and have all 12 Brahminical qualities, but if in spite of being thus qualified, if he is not devoted to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who has a navel shaped like a lotus, he is not as good as a Chandala, who has dedicated his mind, words, activities, wealth, and life to the service of the Lord. Simply to take birth in a Brahmin family or to have Brahminical qualities is not sufficient. One must be a pure devotee of the Lord. Thus, if a Svapacha or Chandala is a devotee, he delivers not only himself, but his entire family as well. Whereas a Brahmin, who is not a devotee, but simply has Brahminical qualifications, cannot even purify himself, what to speak of his family. Thus, if even a dog eater is a devotee, he delivers not only himself, but his entire family as well. Whereas a Brahmin, who is not a devotee, but simply has Brahminical qualifications, cannot even purify himself, what to speak of his family. Bhajanara madhye shreshta nababhida bhakti Krishna prema Krishna dite dore mahashakti. Among the ways of executing devotional service, the 9 prescribed methods are the best, for these processes have great potency to deliver Krishna an ecstatic love for him. The 9 kinds of devotional service are mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Parasevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasham, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. These 9 are hearing, chanting, remembering Krishna, offering service to Krishna's lotus feet, offering worship in the temple, offering prayers, working as a servant, making friendship with Krishna, and unreservedly surrendering to Krishna. These 9 processes of devotional service can grant one Krishna an ecstatic love for him. In the beginning, one has to discharge devotional service according to regulated principles. But gradually, as devotional service becomes one's life and soul, one achieves the most exalted position of ecstatic love for Krishna. Ultimately, Krishna is the goal of life. One need not have taken birth in an aristocratic Brahmin family to attain the lotus feet of Krishna, nor is a person born in a low family unfit for achieving Krishna's lotus feet. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Devahuti says to Kapila Dev, Aho bhata svapachoto gariyan yaj chivagre vartate namatubhyam tepustapaste jahuvu shashnurarya brahmanuchur nama grinanti yete. O my Lord, even a person born in a low family of dog eaters is glorious if he always chants the holy name of the Lord. O my Lord, even a person born in a low family of dog eaters is glorious if he always chants the holy name of the Lord. Such a person has already performed all types of austerities, penances, and Vedic sacrifices, has already bathed in the sacred rivers, and has also studied all the Vedic literature. Thus he has become an exalted personality. Similarly, Kunti Devi says to Lord Krishna, Janmaishvarya Shruta Shribir Idamana Madapuman Naivar Hati Abidhatum Vaitvam Akinchat Gocharam. Janmaishvarya Shruta Shribir Idamana Madapuman Naivarati Abidhatum Vaitvam Akinchana Gocharam. A person who is proud of his birth, opulence, knowledge, and beauty cannot achieve your lotus feet. You are available only to the humble and meek, not to the proud. Taramadye Sarvashreshta Nama Sankirtan Nira Parade Nama Loile Bhai Premadan. Of the 9 processes of devotional service, the most important is to always chant the holy name of the Lord. If one does so, avoiding the 10 kinds of offenses, one very easily obtains the most valuable love of Godhead. Eta Shuni Sanataner Hoila Chamatkar Prabhurena Bhai Mora Marana Bichar. After hearing this, Sanatan Goswami was exceedingly astonished. He could understand. My decision to commit suicide has not been greatly appreciated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sarvagya Mahaprabhu Nishedila More Prabhuda Charana Dori Kohena Tahare. Sanatan Goswami concluded, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who knows everything, past, present, and future, has forbidden me to commit suicide. He then fell down, touching the lotus feet of the Lord, and spoke to him as follows. Sarvagya Kripalu Tumi Ishvara Swatantra Jaiche Nachal Taiche Nache Jena Kashta Chandra. My Lord, you are the omniscient, merciful, independent, supreme Lord. Exactly like an instrument of wood, I dance as you make me do so. The instrument made of wood, like a puppet. My Lord, you are the omniscient, merciful, independent, supreme Lord. Exactly like a puppet made of wood, I dance as you make me do so. Nijadama pamara mui pamara swabhab mora jiaile tomar kiva habe lab. I am lowborn, indeed I am the lowest. I am condemned, for I have all the characteristics of a sinful man. If you keep me alive, what will be the profit? Prabhu kohe tomar deho mora nijadam Prabhu kohe tomar deho mora nijadan, tumi more korijacha atma samarpan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, your body is my property. You have already surrendered unto me. Therefore, you no longer have any claim to your body. Parer dravya tumi kenichaha binashite dharma vichar kiba napara korite. Why should you want to destroy another's property? Can't you consider what is right and wrong? Tomara sharir mora pratana sadan e sharire sadana ami bahu prayojan. Your body is my principal instrument for executing many necessary functions. By your body I shall carry out many tasks. Bhakta bhakti, Krishna prema, tadvara nidar, Vaishnavara kritya ara, Vaishnavachar. You shall have to ascertain the basic principles of a devotee. Devotional service. Love of God had Vaishnav duties and Vaishnav characteristics. Krishna Bhakti, Kripa, Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Prema, Seva Pravartan, Lupta Tirtha, Udara, Ara, Vairagya, Shikan. You will also have to explain Krishna's devotional service, establish centers for cultivation of love of Krishna, excavate lost places of pilgrimage, and teach people how to adopt the renounced order. Nija Priya Stanamor Mathura Vrindaban Taha Eta Dharma Chahi Korite Pracharan. Mathura Vrindaban is my own very dear abode. I want to do many things there to preach Krishna consciousness. Matara Gyayami Basi Nilachale Tahandharma Shikaite Nahi Nijabole. By the order of my mother, I am sitting here in Jagannath Puri. Therefore, I cannot go to Mathura, Vrindaban, to teach people how to live there according to religious principles. Eta sab karma ami je dehe korimu taha chadite chaha tumi kemone sahimu. I have to do all this work through your body, but you want to give it up. How can I tolerate this? Tabe sanatana kohe tomake namaskare tomara gambira hridaya je ke bujite pare. At that time, Sanatan Goswami said to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. No one can understand the deep ideas you plan within your heart. Kashtera putalijena kuhakena chai apanena jani putale kibana chegai. A wooden doll chants and dances according to the direction of a magician, but does not know how he is dancing and singing. We can understand this by the example of a wooden puppet who dances according to the desire of the puppeteer who's pulling the strings. A wooden doll chants and dances according to the direction of a magician, but does not know how he is dancing and singing. Jari jaiche nachao se taiche kori nartane kaiche nache kiva nachai seha nahi jane. My dear Lord, as you cause one to dance, one dances accordingly. But how one dances and who is causing him to dance, he does not know. Haridas kohe Prabhu shuna Haridas parera drabya iho chahena korite vinash Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said to Haridas Thakur, "My dear Haridas, please hear me. This gentleman wants to destroy another's property. Parerastapya dravya kehona kaist viloy nisheda ihare jena nakore anjoy." One who is entrusted with another's property does not distribute it or use it for his own purposes. Therefore, tell him not to do such an unlawful thing. Haridas kohe mitya abhiman kori tomara gambir hridoy bhujete na pare. Haridas Thakur replied, "We are falsely proud of our capabilities. Actually, we cannot understand your deep intentions. Kon karya tumi karakon dware tumina janaile keho janite na pare." Unless you inform us, we cannot understand what your purpose is or what you want to do through whom. Eta drisha tumi ihare kori jacha angikar eta sobhagya iha nahoy kinkar. My dear Lord, since you are a great personality, my dear Lord, since you, a great personality, have accepted Sanatan Goswami, he is greatly fortunate. No one can be as fortunate as he. Tabe Mahaprabhu kore duhare alingan madhyana korite ute korela gaman. Thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Haridas Thakur and Sanatan Goswami and then got up and left to perform his noon duties. Bathed in the sea. That's one such duty. Sanatane kohe Haridas Korea Lingan Tomara Bhagjera Sima Najai Katan. My dear Sanatan, Haridas Thakur said, embracing him, no one can find the limits of your good fortune. Tomara deho kohen prabhu mora nijadam toma sama bhagyavan nahi konjam tomara deho kohen prabhu mora nijadan toma sama bhagyavan nahi konjan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has accepted your body as his own property. Therefore, no one can equal you in good fortune. So, Haridas speaking to Sanatana Goswami. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has accepted your body as his own property. Therefore, no one can equal you in good fortune. Nijadehi jay karya na paran korite na karya karaibe toma seho maturate. What Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cannot do with his own personal body, he wants to do through you, and he wants to do it in Mathura. Jai koraite chahe Ishwara se siddha hoy tomara Sobhagya e kohilu nischay. Whatever the Supreme Personality of God wants to do will successfully be accomplished. This is your great fortune. This is my mature opinion. Bhakti Siddhanta Shastra Achara Nirnoy Tomadware Karai Bena Bujiten Ashai. I can understand from the words of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he wants you to write books about the conclusive decision of devotional service and about the regulative principles ascertained from the revealed scriptures. Amare Deho Prabhur Karyena Lagila Bharata Bhumite Janmi E Deho Vyarta Koila. My body could not be used in the service of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, although it took birth in the land of India, this body has been useless. This is Haridas Thakur speaking. He says to Sanatan Goswami, you're so fortunate because the Lord has plans to execute so many activities and responsibilities in Mathura, Vrindaban. He wants to do it through you. And but Haridas then says, my body could not be used in the service of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, although it took birth in the land of India, this body has been useless. Sanatana Kohe Toma Samakeba Achayan Mahaprabhu Kane Tumi Mahabhagyavan. Sanatan Goswami replied, O Haridas Thakur, who is equal to you? You're one of the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, you are the most fortunate. Avatar Karya Prabhur Nama Prachare Say Nija Karya Prabhu Korana Tomara Dware. The mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for which he has descended as an incarnation, is to spread the importance of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Now, instead of personally doing so, he is spreading it through you. The mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for which he has descended as an incarnation, is to spread the importance of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Now, instead of personally doing so, he is spreading through you. Sanatan is telling to Haridas. Pratyaha koratin laka nam sankirtan sabara age kora namera mahima katan. My dear sir, you are chanting the holy name 300,000 times daily and informing everyone of the importance of such chanting. Apanaya chare keho nakore prachar, prachar korana keho nakoren achar. Some behave very well, but do not preach the cult of Krishna consciousness, whereas others preach but do not behave properly. Some persons follow all the Vedic prescriptions, but as it says here, some behave very well but do not preach the cult of Krishna consciousness, whereas others preach but do not behave properly. Achar prachar namer koraha duikarya tumi sarva guru tumi jagatera arya. Achar prachar namer koraha duikarya tumi sarva guru tumi jagatera arya. You simultaneously perform both duties in relation to the holy name of by your personal behavior and by your preaching. Therefore, you are the spiritual master of the entire world, but you are the most advanced. For you are the most advanced devotee in the Lord. You simultaneously perform both duties in relation. So here, this is the explanation. Some behave very well but do not preach the cult of Krishna consciousness, whereas others preach but do not behave properly. You simultaneously perform both duties in relation to the body. You simultaneously perform both duties in relation to the holy name by your personal behavior and by your preaching. Therefore, you are the spiritual master of the entire world, for you are the most advanced devotee in the world. Emata Duijan Nanakata Range Krishna Kata Ashva Ashvadai rohe ek sange, e mata duijan nana kata range, Krishna kata ashvadai rohe ek sange. In this way, the two of them pass their time discussing subjects concerning Krishna. Thus they enjoyed life together. Jatrakale Ailasab Godara Bhaktagan Purvavat Koila Sabe Rathayatra Darshan. During the time of Rathayatra, all the devotees arrived from Bengal to visit the car festival as they had done previously. Ratha Agre Prabhu Taiche Korila Nartan Deki Chamatkara Hoila Sanatane Raman. During the Rathayatra festival, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again danced before the car of Jagannath. When Sanatan Goswami saw this, his mind was astonished. During the time of Rathayatra, all the devotees arrived from Bengal to visit the Rathayatra festival as they had done previously. During that festival, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again danced before the car of Jagannath. When Sanatan Goswami saw this, his mind was astonished. Varshara Shari Masha Rohila Sab Nijabhaktakane Sabasange Prabhu Milaila Sanatane. Varshara Charimas Rohila Sab Nijabhaktakane Sabasange Prabhu Nilaila Sanatane. The Lord's devotees from Bengal stayed at Jagannath Puri during the 4 months of the rainy season, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced Sanatan Goswami to them all. The Lord's devotees from Bengal stayed at Jagannath Puri during the 4 months of the rainy season. That's Chaturmasya. And Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced Sanatan Goswami to them all. Advaita Nityananda Srivas Rakeshwar Vasudeva Murari Raghava Damodar Puri Bharati Swarup Pandita Gadadhar Sarvabhauma Ramananda Jaganananda Shankar Kashishwara Govindari Jatabhaktagan Sabsane Sanatanera Koraila Milan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced Sanatan Goswami to these and other select devotees. Advaitacharya Nityananda Prabhu Srivasangam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced Sanatan Goswami to these and other selected devotees. Advaitacharya Nityananda Prabhu Srivas Thakur Vakeshwar Pandit Vasudeva Datta Murari Gupta Raghava Pandit Damodar Pandit Paramananda Puri Brahmanda Bharati Swarup Damodar Gadadhar Pandit Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya Ramananda Roy Jagannananda Pandit Shankara Pandit and Kashishwar and Govinda. Let me see. It's a list of all the devotees. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced Sanatan Goswami to these and other selected devotees. Advaitacharya Nityananda Prabhu Srivas Thakur Rakeshwar Pandit Vasudeva Datta Murari Gupta Raghava Pandit Damodar Pandit Paramananda Puri Brahmananda Bharati Swarup Damodar Gadadhar Pandit Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya Ramananda Roy Jagannananda Pandit Shankar Pandit Kashishwar and Govinda. Jata Jogya Karaila Sabar Charana Bandhan Tari Karaila Sabar Kripara Bhajan. The Lord asked Sanatan Goswami to offer obeisances to all the devotees in a way that befitted each one. Thus, he introduced Sanatan Goswami to them, but he introduced Sanatan Goswami to them just to make him an object of their mercy. The Lord asked Sanatan Goswami to offer obeisances to all the devotees in a way that befitted each one. Thus he introduced Sanatan Goswami to them all just to make him an object of their mercy. Sadgune Pandite Sabar Priya Sanatan Jata Jogya Kripa Maitri Gaurava Bhajan. Sanatan Goswami was dear to everyone because of his exalted qualities and learning. Suitably, therefore, they bestowed upon him mercy, friendship, and humor, and honor, pardon me. Sanatan Goswami was dear to everyone because of his exalted qualities and learning. Suitably, therefore, they bestowed upon him mercy, friendship, and honor. Sakala Vaishnava Jabe Godadeshe Gela Sanatana Mahaprabhu Charane Rohila. When all the other devotees returned to Bengal after the Rathayatra festival, Sanatan Goswami stayed under the care of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dola Jatra Adi Prabhu Sangete Dekila Dine Dine Prabhu Sange Ananda Barila. Sanatana Goswami observed the Dole Yatra ceremony with Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this way, his pleasure increased in the company of the Lord. So Dole Yatra is holy, and it occurs at the same time as the Gaur Purnima festival. So they're celebrating holy with Mahaprabhu. Sanatan Goswami observed the Dole Yatra ceremony with Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this way, his pleasure increased in the company of the Lord. Purve Vaishakmase Sanatana Jabiaila Jaishtamase Prabhutare Parikka Korila. Sanatan Goswami had come to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri during the month of April-May, and during the month of May-June, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tested him. During the month of May-June, Jaishtamase. Jaishtamase Prabhu Jamishwara Totaila Bhakta Anurode Tahan Bika Jay Korila. Jaishtamase Prabhu Jameshwar Totaila Bhakta Anurode Tahan Bika Jay Korila. In the month of May-June, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to the garden of Vyameshwar, Lord Shiva, and accepted prasadam there at the request of the devotees. Madhyana Bhikkakale Sanatane Bolaila Prabhu Bolaila Tara Ananda Barila. At noon, when it was time for lunch, the Lord called for Sanatana Goswami, whose happiness increased because of the call. Madhyane Samudra Balu Hayache Agnisam Sepate Sanatana Korilagaman. At noon, the sand on the beach was as hot as fire, but Sanatana Goswami came by that path. Prabhu Bolayache Anandita Mane Tapta Vilukyate Napade Taha Nahijani. Overwhelmed by joy at being called by the Lord, Sanatana Goswami did not feel that his feet were burning in the hot sand. Duipae Foshka Hoila Tabu Gela Prabhustane Bika Korite Sama Prabhur Duipae Foshka Koila Tabu Gela Prabhustane Bika Kore Mahaprabhu Koriachen Vishrame. Although the soles of his feet were blistered because of the heat, He nevertheless went to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There he found that the Lord, having taken his lunch, was resting. Bika avasesha patra govinda taredila prasada paya sanatana prabhu pashyayla. Govinda gave Sanatan Goswami the plate with the remnants of Lord Chaitanya's food. After taking the prasadam, Sanatan Goswami approached Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhu kohe kompate aila sanatan, teho kohe samudrapate korilun gaman. When the Lord inquired, by which path have you come? Sanatan Goswami replied, I have come on the path along the beach. Prabhu kohe tapta valukate kemone aila. Simhadwarer pata tila kenina aila. Mahaprabhu said, how did you come along the path? How did you come along the path by the beach where the sand is so hot? Why didn't you come by the path in front of the Simhadwar gate? It is very cool. So Mahaprabhu said, how did you come along the beach? How did you come along the beach where the sand is so hot? Why didn't you come by the path in front of the Simhadwar gate? It is very cool. Tapta valukaya tomar paya hoila bran. Chalitena pare kemone korila sahan. The hot sand must have blistered your soles. Now you cannot walk. How did you tolerate it? Sanatana kohe dukkha bahutana pailun pae brana hayache kehona janilun. Sanatana Goswami replied, I did not feel much pain, nor did I know that there were blisters because of the heat. Simhadware jaiche mora nahi adikar visheshe takurer tahan seva kera prochar. I have no right to pass by the Simhadwar, for the servants of Jagannath are always coming and going there. Simhadware jaiche mora nahi adikar visheshe takurer tahan sevakera prachar. I have no right to pass by the Simhadwar, for the servants of Jagannath are always coming and going there. Sevakera gatagati kore nahi avasar tara sparsha hoile sarva nyasa koile pardon me. Sevaka gatagati kore nahi abasar tarasparsha hoile sarva nasha habe more. The servants are always coming and going without interval. If I touch them, I shall be ruined. So Sanatan Goswami says he doesn't want to go on the path going by the Simhadwar, where the sand is not so hot, where the road is much cooler than the road by the beach. But Sanatan Goswami said on that path by the Simhadwar, the servants of Lord Jagannath, the servitors, are always coming and going. And he said if I touch them, I shall be ruined. I'll contaminate them. So Sanatan Goswami is very humble Vaishnava and very conscious that he should not come in contact or touch the servants of Lord Jagannath, because he feels himself most impure. That's his humility. Shuni Mahaprabhu mane santosh paila tushtahoya tarikachu koide lagila. Having heard all these details, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, greatly pleased, spoke as follows. Jajyapiyo tumi hao jagat pavan Thomas parshe pavitra hoy deva munigan tatapi bhakta swabhava marjada Rakan, Marjara Palana Hoy, Sadura Bhushan. My dear Sanatan, although you are the deliverer of the entire universe, and although even the demigods and great saints are purified by touching you, it is a characteristic of a devotee to observe and protect the Vaishnava etiquette. Maintenance of the Vaishnava etiquette is the ornament of a devotee. Marjara Langane Lok Kori Upahas Ihalok Puralok Marjara Langane Lok Kori Upahas Ihalok Paralok Dui Hoinash. If one transgresses the laws of etiquette, people make fun of him, and thus one is vanquished in both this world and the next. Marjara Rakile Tushto Koile Moraman Tumiache na Korile Kore Konjan. By observing the etiquette, you have satisfied my mind. Who else but you could show this example? Etabole Prabhutare Anlingan Koila Tara Kandu Rasa Prabhura Sri Ange Lagila. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Sanatan Goswami, and the moisture oozing from the itching sores on Sanatan's body smeared the body of the Lord. Barbar Nisheda Tabu Korea Lingan Angera Salage Duka Pai Sanatan. Although Sanatan Goswami repeatedly forbade Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to embrace him, the Lord still did so. Thus his body was smeared with the moisture from Sanatan's body, and Sanatan became greatly distressed. Emate Sevaka Prabhu Duhe Goragela Aradin Shaganananda Sanatanere Milila. Thus both servant and master departed for their respective homes. The next day, Jagannath Pandit went to meet Sanatan Goswami. Thus both servant and master, Sanatan Goswami and Mahaprabhu, departed for their respective homes. The next day, Jagannath Pandit went to meet Sanatan Goswami. So tomorrow I'll continue at this point. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Jaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Jaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Marana Mohan Giridhari Gopinatha Marana Mohan Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Dharanara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Dharanara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath H.I. Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan H.I. Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Javate Vijnana Shavishta Puran Javate Vijnana Shavishta Puran Jai Gosai Jarmui Taradas, Jai Gosai Jarmui Taradas, Kasabar Pada Renu Mora Panchagras, Kasabar Pada Renu Mora Panchagras, Kader Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas, Kader Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas, Janame Janame More Abhilas, Janame Janame More Abhilas, Jai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas, Jai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas, Radha Krishna Antya-lila Korila Prakash, Radha Krishna Antya-lila Korila Prakash, Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindaban, Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindaban, Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman, Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman, Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas, Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas, Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamura, Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamura, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakakshira Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Marga Ki Jai. Namachari Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Mata Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhadadas Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Prem Sigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srila Vrindaban Das Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Bhagwat Ki Jai. Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vishvavaranya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Sri Navadip Dham ki jai, Sri Dham Mayapur ki jai, Saparshada Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Saparshada Shriman Mahaprabhu ki jai, Sri Koladvip ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai, Sokel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Sevashram ki jai, Ganga Devi ki jai, Tulasi Maharani ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Sri Vrindaban Dham ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopi Govardhan Shyam Kuna Radhakunda Kalindi Yamuna Ju ki jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, all the assembled devotees ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo.